Hi there folks, welcome back to Double G's Kingdom. My name is Gage and today I'm going to be breaking down for you the best times to come to Walt Disney World, so be sure to stay engaged. Alright, so if you guys know anything about Walt Disney World, you know that it is a very busy park year-round, but there are certain times where you can come here and it will be less busy. So January through February are the best times of the year to come here. That whole month and a half stretch there, it's typically dead. Super dead here in the parks. You don't have anybody coming in here that have kids typically because they are all back in school after the holidays have ended. And the only people you'll really be dealing with are the annual pass holders. Now, on the weekends at Epcot, it will be busy just because they have the International Festival of the Arts. But otherwise, the parks are very dead. By far, that is my favorite time to be here. The heat is not really a factor. And the crowd levels are microscopic. They are so minimal. So what I do suggest doing is paying attention to those holidays. We do have a couple in there. In those days, the crowd levels are much higher than what they would typically be during that time. However, like I said, most of the time during January through February, it is not busy at all. So a lot of people come down here for March and April. So we're going to skip over those months because those are incredibly busy times of the year. We got spring breaks going on, Easter's in there. It's a very busy time of the year to be here. So March and April are hard. Do not recommend. That's a warning. Do not come here during those times. It's typically much busier. You may get away with the first week of March, but after that, you're dealing with a lot of spring break crowds and it gets very busy. So heading into the summer months, starting with May. May is typically not very busy in the first half because schools are still in session and leading to they let out usually mid-May to late May is whenever most schools let out between, elementary all the way through college. So those first 2 weeks of May, I would recommend coming, but be warned that it still may be a little bit busier than what it would be compared to, say, January, February. However, once we get into that last half of May leading through June, July, that's in the beginning of August, really. It really gets busier. It's super busy because that's the time everybody is out of school. People can take off of work so they can spend time with their families. They get those vacations in during the summer. And plus, it is disgusting here during the summer months. It is way too hot. I do not suggest coming here at that time. It is way too crowded. Again, do not come here during the last half of May through the first half of August. Those months are hard. Do not recommend. They are always busy, hot, and it's just not the best time. It makes it feel a little bit more miserable than it should be. Now that we're in the second half of August, those last week or two there, that's usually a really good time to come because, again, schools are back in session. So kids are going off to do that. So you're dealing with just, again, those local crowds and the annual pass holders, people like that. You're not going to get a lot of those family crowds that occupy a lot of the space here at Disney. So definitely come here during that time, and honestly most days in September. We have done a few vlogs here for September already. Now on our way over to Everest. Everything in Animal Kingdom today is super dead, so it's pretty much a walk-on. These are the type of times you want to come here. It's a walk-on for everything. We walked on to Everest, we walked on to anything in the Magic Kingdom. It was really a great time to be here. Toy Story Land even is a walk-on for most of their stuff right now, and I'm filming this in September. It should be up in September, but right now is one of the best times to come here. We walked on to everything. It's still very hot. However, we are not dealing with those crowd levels that you would be seeing during the normal summer months. So as long as you avoid like say the weekends, because now we have food and wine going on and we have the not so scaries happening over at Magic Kingdom. But if you avoid the weekend days and you come here during the weekdays, you will be in a great position to get a lot of rides in, maybe some meet and greets, whatever you like to do. It will not be as challenging as if you came during those summer months. So October and November are kind of weird months. They typically reside in a middle ground area because we do have Halloween. A lot of the not so scary Halloween parties are going on, and then we go into Thanksgiving, which you wouldn't think being would be a very busy holiday here at Disney. However, it is a 4-day weekend for most schools, so you have a lot of families come down here during that weekend. So if you stick to just the weekdays of October and November, you won't have as much trouble. It's going to be a little bit more crowded because, again, we do have some fall breaks up here at this point, and then we head into Halloween and Thanksgiving. But the weekdays typically aren't as busy, except for, again, we are dealing with food and wine, and we are also dealing with the not so scary party. So as long as you organize when you'll go to the parks, I don't say doing Magic Kingdom at night at any point, unless you want to see Happily Ever After, because seeing Happily Ever After will be more difficult due to the fact that they aren't showing it every single night due to these parties. So you got to just plan your vacation around what you're wanting to see a little bit more during October and November, but the crowd levels still aren't as bad. You just gotta organize your vacation a little bit more around these October and November days, just because of the holidays, the parties that are going on. Because November we have very merry Christmas parties starting up almost immediately. I think it's within the first week and a half of November, so you have to be prepared for those kind of things. Like I said, as long as you organize your vacation really well around these parties and the special events that go on during October, November, you will be perfectly fine. I highly suggest coming during that time, because especially if you come for the Halloween, like the last week of October, first week of November, you get to see both Halloween and Christmas at all the parks. And though Halloween's really only at Magic Kingdom, Christmas is at all the parks. It's really a great experience to be here at Disney World during those months of Christmas, which is November, December. But the crowd levels do get crazier. So talking about December is typically a busier month, especially during the latter half of December. The first half of December is not that bad because nobody's going on vacation during that time. They're finishing up schools. But if you come during those first 2 weeks of December, not so bad. On the weekdays, weekends are still pretty busy, and you got to keep in mind the very merry Christmas parties. But then you head into the second half of December, which is incredibly busy. It's a very busy time to be here because of all those holidays. We have New Year's and Christmas, both of those, and it's really broken down into 4 days because Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Like, this is a very busy time to show up during the last 2 weeks of December and really heading into a little bit of January, that first week of January. As I mentioned, second week of January is the best time to come. First week of January is still in that really bad, super busy time to come to Disney World. So I know planning a Disney vacation is hard, but my hope is that some of these tips have helped you on when you need to come down next time and try to help you plan your schedule and organize your vacation for your next Disney World trip. So if you want to stay up to date with all things happening here at Double G's Kingdom, be sure to click that subscribe and that notify bell. Give us a like if you want to, and be sure to stay engaged.